Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Good. I'm just making sure that none of you are sleeping. All ready for the panel discussion today. Today's topic is Women Entrepreneurs in Focus and Empowering Visionaries. It's part of our mission to transform Kerala by 2030. So, those who know me know that my panel discussions are very precise. We have a plan, we have an agenda, and we stick to the timing. And we have 30 minutes, so we will try to make this as quick as possible. The agenda is very simple. I will introduce the three panelists. We have three important questions. We have taken the Women Entrepreneurship Challenge. What is it that we need to do to make this a success? And we divided it into three problem areas. And we will talk about all three problem areas in detail. And then we will wind up with an audience poll, so be prepared, and a final summation. So, good afternoon, everyone, again. It's my pleasure to introduce the three panelists, friends, and fellow WEN members. WEN stands for Women Entrepreneur Network, and I've known all of these women entrepreneurs for the last 5 years. It's a pleasure to be on the stage with them. So let me just introduce Maria Abraham first. Maria is the Executive Director of Dhanam, Kerala's pioneering business magazine with a 37-year track record. She also serves as Director of Dhanam Publications, which is a modern media company offering a wide range of products across print, digital, and events, especially the premier Dhanam Business Summit, which has become an event of note in Kerala for the last 17 years. Maria is also very active in multiple professional organizations. She has been the chairperson of the Women Managers Forum of KMA, which is Kerala Management Association, and the managing committee member of KMA for 6 years. She also has served as a president of Women Entrepreneurs Network, WEN, currently a core advisory board member. She's also a member of the governing body of Kerala Productivity Council and director of Kochi International Foundation. Welcome, Maria. Next to me is Diwia Thomas, is the founder of Papertrail, a social entrepreneurship venture. Papertrail touches the lives of countless women from jails and shelter homes. Over the years, her company has diversified into premium packaging solutions and as distributor and exporter of compostables and disposables. As a mentor, she works with small-scale manufacturing units to ensure sustainable product diversity and financial stability. Diwia has several awards to her credit, including the prestigious Kairali Jwala Award for Social Entrepreneurship, Unique Times Young Business Woman of the Year Award. She's also a TEDx speaker. She recently completed a certificate program at IIM Vizag on new product development and marketing strategy, true to her motto of staying trained all the time. Welcome, dear friend. Last, not the least, Laila Sudeesh. She's a managing partner of Care for You Facility Management Services, a professional maintenance and deep cleaning company operating in central Kerala. She's also part of PowerMech Diesels. They are dealers of Kirloskar generators and the top dealer in India for the last 7 consecutive years. They're also distributors of international brands of major safety products. Currently, she is the president of WEN Foundation, which has 5 chapters all over Kerala and 1,000 plus WEN entrepreneurs as members. She's also involved in Rotary, Inner Wheel, and Rotary Means Business Forum. Welcome, Laila. So, what are the challenges that face women entrepreneurs? If you look at it, there are 3 broad challenges. The first, of course, is the ecosystem, the mindset. What is the mindset when it comes to women entrepreneurs? And I will give you 3 numbers today. The first number is 3%. Less than 3% of all funding all over the world, not just in Kerala, all over the world go to women entrepreneurs. That means 97 of every $100 goes to male entrepreneurs. That is the first number I'm going to give you. The second number, less than 18% of all investors are women. That's a tough number. But then when you look at small businesses. You look at Kudumbashri kind of ecosystem enablers. We are looking at 50% of the population that has access, that we are denying access to, that we are denying the potential to come into the economy, to come into the fold, to take the society forward. So there's three numbers we need to be aware of: 3, 18%, and 50%. So when as a nation, we deny the potential of 50% of the population, that's a disaster waiting to unfold. So we decided to break down this problem into 3 areas, and we will talk about all 3 areas. The first area is, has a mindset changed? In a city in Kerala, in a state like Kerala, how has a mindset changed in the last 3 decades? So the first question, we'll start with Maria. What are the changes you have seen, good and bad, in the 3 decades that you have been a part of Dhanam for women entrepreneurs?
First of all, thank you, Tai, for inviting me to this panel discussion. Coming to the question, Kerala ecosystem has witnessed tremendous changes in the last few decades. 37 years ago, when we started Dhanam, there were only very few women entrepreneurs. If you take 100 entrepreneurs, വിരലിൽ എണ്ണാവുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ മാത്രമേ വിമൻ ഓണ്ടർപ്രണേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നുള്ളൂ. അതിൽ തന്നെ പലരും എന്ന് പറയുന്നില്ല, അതിൽ ചിലരൊക്കെ ചിലപ്പോൾ നാമമാത്രം, പേപ്പറിൽ മാത്രമുള്ള ഓണ്ടർപ്രണേഴ്സാണ് ആയിരുന്നു. കാരണം അവർ വിമൻ ഓണ്ടർപ്രണേഴ്സിനുള്ള ആ ഒരു ആനുകൂല്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വിമൻ്റെ പേരിൽ തുടങ്ങുകയും അത് ഹസ്ബൻഡ്സ് നടത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് പോവുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന അങ്ങനത്തെ യൂണിറ്റ്സ്. ഇത് ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് ഒരു 37 years before. Now the scenario has changed completely. Now more and more women are entering into business. Women, they have people who have high-paying jobs. They are leaving their jobs, they are resigning their jobs and starting businesses. And we get to know, get to interact with college students. When we talk to them, many of them are aspiring to be entrepreneurs. These are all welcome changes in the society. And look at the women in business. They are into diverse sectors. Earlier, they were confined to certain traditional sectors like food-related business or beauty business or something like that. Now they are into all kinds of, all diverse sectors they are present. Take our own moderator, Revathi. She's a very successful IT entrepreneur. And we have Binu Philippos. She's managing director of, founder of MediNeeds, located at Kirakambalam. She's into she's into manufacturing of precise medical products. And we have Lekha Balachandran, who is manufacturing transformers. 2 ദിവസം മുമ്പ് ധനത്തിൽ ഒരു ലേഡി ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്ത് നിന്ന് വിളിച്ചു. ഷീസ് ഇൻ ടു എയറോസ്പേസ്, ആ ബിസിനസ്സിലാണ്. അപ്പം വിമൻ ആർ ദെയർ ഇൻ diverse sectors. That is a welcome change. Another thing is that the technology transformation. Technology is enabling women to be entrepreneurs. They can be entrepreneurs, they can be entrepreneurs just sitting at their homes. If they have a Facebook account and Instagram account, they can do very highly successful business these days. That is a welcome change we see nowadays. And another major thing is the shift in the mindset of the society. പണ്ട് ബിസിനസ്സിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങുന്ന വർഷങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പത്തെ കാര്യമാണ് ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്. പണ്ട് ബിസിനസ്സിലേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങുന്ന ലേഡീസിനെ തൻ്റെടികളും തന്നിഷ്ടക്കാരും ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട് കരുതുമായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പം ഫാമിലീസ് എല്ലാം വിമനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുകയാണ് അവരുടെ ബിസിനസ്സിൽ. മാത്രമല്ല വലിയ ബിസിനസ് നല്ല സക്സസ് ആകുന്ന വിമൻ ഓൺട്രപ്രണേഴ്സിനെ ആൾക്കാർ സെലിബ്രിറ്റി ആയിട്ട് കാണാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. Another major thing is that the rise of many networking organizations, networking platforms. Of course, when is one, and we'll be Laila will be speaking about it later. And there are many other networking platforms coming up for, particularly for women. There were these networking platforms for women, for men earlier, but now specifically for women, there are many networks coming up. And another major thing, അതൊരു വലിയ വിപ്ലവം തന്നെയാണെന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയും. One of the best things happened to Kerala, കുടുംബശ്രീ. 1998 തുടങ്ങിയ കുടുംബശ്രീ ഗ്രാസ് റൂട്ട് ലെവലിലുള്ള സ്ത്രീകളുടെ ഇടയിൽ റൂറൽ ഏരിയാസിൽ ഓൺട്രപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ വലിയൊരു ഇമ്പാക്റ്റാണ് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. പിന്നെ വേറെ another thing, women are coming into leadership positions. I don't see Anisha here, but she has been the president of TiE Kerala 2 years back. So these are all welcome changes we see in the ecosystem regarding women entrepreneurship and women leadership.
Thank you. Over to you, Diwia.
Thank you all for having me here. And I do see quite a lot of women also in the audience today. Maria, not to repeat what Maria said, all of what she said I resonate with. The ecosystem, the presence of different ecosystems nowadays has really changed. We have been breaking the glass ceilings, breaking the barriers. The gender bias as we speak is slowly fading into the shadows. The more the women come out, the more options that they are having and taking today is causing that gender bias to slowly disappear, I can say. It's not black and white anymore, it's slowly becoming gray, and hopefully in a couple of years it will not exist. I've always felt the platform the playing field has been level when I played the game, and when I'm still playing the game. And you asked about what would be the negatives of this. The bad side of it, I would say, especially after some kind of hand-holding 900 of our women in WEN, and closely watching what makes them tick, what makes them fail, what can we do to make them, help them scale up. Revathi and I have been having these scale-up conversations for the last, I think, 2 years now. We're constantly discussing and trying to develop some kind of foolproof way in which we can get women entrepreneurs to scale up. So one thing that I have found is that most women, when they start, they lack the tools. This is the bad side I'm talking about, okay? The good side is what Maria was mentioning earlier, that women lack certain amount of tools, exposure, knowledge in what lies ahead of the road when they start business. They've had the courage to start, they've had the great idea, they've put in the funds, but there are some of those golden numbers and ratios and some very key tools that they need to have to be able to succeed. That is a constant endeavor with us at WEN to ensure that they get exposure to those things, so that when they get to a crossroad, wondering which way to go to scale up, or leave alone scale up, which way to go, they won't be afraid to know where to go, because we've already given them all of that training and exposure, either at WEN or at conferences like this, where they've heard enough of stories, success stories, failure stories, so they won't feel alone on the journey, on their entrepreneurship journey. Over to you, Laila.
Thank you, Laila.
Thank you for having me here. And yeah, I'll be speaking about the good, of course. So yes, what I have felt on behalf of WEN is, in 2017 when we started off WEN, within a week, I guess, we touched 256 numbers, which was the benchmark for forming a WhatsApp group. So that's when we realized there are that many women entrepreneurs here in Kochi. So we got a golden opportunity to network with them. And similarly was the case when we formed chapters in other cities too. When we formed in Calicut, they were all surprised. They have 150 numbers of women entrepreneurs there. And yes, it goes on. And now we are at 1,000 in 5 chapters over Kerala. So, and one beautiful thing about this particular organization is that we don't believe in hierarchy. We have top-tier business people with us, for example, like Maria Abraham, Sheila Kuchosep. And all these women, they ensure that we also grow up as leaders along with them. And that's the perfect example that I am here. Because my mentoring and everything I owe to all these super duper women that I moved around with. So the good thing that I feel is all of us get the confidence to move on, whatever may be, and grow, walking around with these kind of people. And yes, that is the culture that we have within WEN. And we are, growing. Thank you.
Thank you. So in general, positive, right? In general, in the last 3 decades, positive. So that's the first challenge, changing the mindset. The second challenge is that every entrepreneur faces. How do I run the business? How do I hire the best person for the job? Of course, this is not gender biased. Every entrepreneur faces this. How do organizations like KMA, WEN, and TiE, how do they help with the access to knowledge and mentoring? And we will start with Diwia.
So at WEN, that's what we do. That's at the center and focus and essence of everything we do in WEN, is how to get access, how to get our women to, like I said earlier, the exposure, the knowledge. So we have workshops. We have, in fact, at WEN, we have a calendar planned for the year, not just for the foundation, for all the chapters as well. And the advisory board looks at the calendar and makes sure that there is a mixed bag of subjects that the member is exposed to, as well as speakers that come to the chapters to speak to the women. So it's a very subtle psychological warfare in a sense, that we expose our ordinary members who are just probably coming to network. Some of our, let's say the lower investment category members come just to network because they haven't thought of scaling up, or they haven't thought of reaching a big level. But when they come here, and there's, like I said, it's a subtle psychological warfare, where we'll be putting up stories and workshops, hands-on workshops, and things like that. And unknowingly, they are being educated into that scale-up mentality, into opening their mindset to be able to accept growth and see themselves in larger positions, in larger places, both in their business and in the world. So that's a very subtle thing that we're doing.
So basically, business before pleasure.
Exactly, exactly.
First, you sit through the masterclass, then the food.
Exactly,
and
exactly. And the fun, yeah. And
then the fun part comes.
yeah. So before we get into the fun part, we tell them they have to sit there for the first half an hour, 45 minutes, listening to the talk or the workshop. Some of our workshops have been path-breaking last year. In fact, this year the foundation is planning on a retreat, an entrepreneurship retreat, where we are handpicking people to come over and be put through the grind and break those mindsets. And when they come out of the retreat, there'll be somebody else.
Laila, you are also part of Rotary Means Business and also through WEN. How is it that we ensure that they get access to mentoring and masterclasses?
Yes, as Diwia said, we ensure that for every meeting we include some learning or the other. And every year we send out Google Forms to our own members seeking as to what is it that they need. And it's always the majority query used to be digital marketing and so every year we ensure that that particular area is catered into. And one example that I would like to point out is during Corona times when we were all idle and we were all confused as to what do we do, we came up with this buddy system that is subgroups within the major group. Why is it so? Because we have a group of 300, 400 people. So to closely knit, we put them into small groups, and then we took the effort to handhold every single member. As said, we do have online business people and that category. So we handhold them, we taught them how to make their own flyers on Canva, how to make their own videos in InShot, and made them engaged. And this, I'm pretty sure that we ensured that most of them put this on status because we were all, of course, we had a lot of time then. And it sure created a noise among the whole crowd. So we were all really engaged. The members were also happy that they could make their own posters through Canva. So these kind of small, very, the basic learnings are also provided in between when there are the bigger ones. For example, getting all the members to like your social media handles is also a task, right? So these kind of things. And as Diwia is the one who looks into the top-notch category, so we ensure that we get the best of speakers. Thankfully, we have our own beautiful in-house speakers too, who voluntarily come forward to do sessions for our own members. That is really a boon for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Now I have the third question. So we now have the first stumbling block, which is, yes, I'm going to give you two questions now. We have the stumbling block, which is that change in mindset. Second is access to knowledge and mentoring. Third is funding. We know that is the most critical for scaling up. So Maria, in your dual role as both in WEN and in Dhanam, which is a finance magazine primarily, tell us what, of course, first answer this question, how you have helped women access mentoring and access knowledge through your publication, and where do you think we stand in terms of funding? What are women entrepreneurs' problem when it comes to access to funding?
Actually, there is a significant barrier for women. We can say there's a bias at the decision-making level.
You can say that bravely. Let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, it is a big barrier to getting funding.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it has certain reasons also. Because women used to be in less capital-intensive sectors earlier. Now only they have come into diverse sectors. So the people, I think ആരും വിമന് ഞങ്ങൾ ഫണ്ടിങ് കൊടുക്കില്ല, ബാങ്കിലാണെങ്കിലും ഞങ്ങൾ വിമന് ലോൺ കൊടുക്കില്ല എന്നും പറഞ്ഞ് ആരും ഇരിക്കുന്നില്ല. Only thing is that they are worried about their money. അത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ അവരുടെ പെർസെപ്ഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. They have some perceptions that women won't take any risk. They can't handle high growth situation. They can't handle it.
They can't handle family and...
Both together, they can't balance. All these perceptions, that play a role. But I think if you have a solid business plan and you are 100% convinced about it, and you can make them 100% convinced, then you can win it. Yeah.
I'll
Is
agree
it.
with her.
Then
I'll agree with her on that.
Then another thing is that now only these networking platforms, everything has come up. It was there for men already. Men had that privilege, but women didn't have these networking platforms and everything earlier. So they didn't have. They had limitations in accessing this capital, venture capitalists, or angel network, or like that. But slowly the situation is changing, and associations like we just now we saw the Thai women and other presentations. In Venn also we are doing actually last committee under Diwia's leadership, we had made a finance docket collating all the information about funding details and all the loans available, everything. That is for the benefit of our members. And I think now things are changing. Another thing, I remembered it now. For the traditional loan, getting loans, there is a problem sometimes. Women's പേരിൽ assets ഒന്നും കാണില്ല. Collateral security കൊടുക്കാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ അവരുടെ പേരിൽ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടി ഇല്ല. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള പ്രോബ്ലംസും വരാറുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം slowly it is changing.
Thanks to Ben, right? That's another thing that we don't know about Ben is that they do ensure that most of their members, where applicable, take MSME registration.
On that note, that is one of our goals this year. We are ensuring that at least a major percentage take their own MSME registration, which will be really helpful for them when they think about scaling up, getting all these funds, government-related funds, and all the kind. Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing that we do at Venn is we look into each of their, however we can. It's 1,000 members, it's difficult, but we handpick some people. We know, like one example is somebody had placed her collateral as loan, and then she took a very small loan and a very small business plan, and she was not able to pay back. And the bank manager said, "Njangal jepti cheyum." I said, "Adenganaya onnu choiche." I called them and I said, "Adenganayannu onnu choiche. You're holding something worth 1 crore of mine, and you're giving me a loan of just 15 lakhs and telling me that you'll jepti." I said, "Ningalkedare case kodukonu poi para." So we push them to do that.
Got it. Okay, I know we are out of time, so quick audience poll. I just want you to raise your hand if you think women entrepreneurs are as good as male entrepreneurs. How many of you think that? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Both hands. Keep it like that. Can we take a photo of all this?
We have the men too.
Don't worry, I'm not going to put this on social media, but we will be coming to you next year for our Thai women sponsors and mentors. Thank you. Okay, last question, and we will wrap up quickly. This is a yes or no question. Who make better entrepreneurs, men or women? Why? Maria.
I think success in entrepreneurship is gender neutral.
Fair enough. Diwia.
So I have I was outside having lunch with architect Tony, who was a speaker before this, and Lakshmi, Amumatiri
Yes,
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi.
So I said, hi, so my panel is next. And he said, on what? I said, on women entrepreneurship. He said, what's the difference between women and entrepreneurship and men entrepreneurship? So Lakshmi said, we know how to wow it. That gives you the answer.
So women. Okay, we are getting into a tie. What
Also,
about you,
it's
Laila?
proven by Grameen Bank, no?
Yes.
I think that we don't need to answer that because that's the reason why they're wanting to fund the women.
I believe it is a balance. Men work in a different pattern and women work in a different pattern. As said, there is a quote that says, if you give a woman a house, she'll make a home out of it.
Yeah.
Grocery, she'll make a meal out of it. If you give her a smile, she'll give you her heart. And similarly, in the case of men, we came up with a very small idea. We had minimal, like zero knowledge as to how to conduct an event.
Yeah.
And that's when we put it across to our members, threw it open to our members, and one huge Ven Carnival just came into action, which was a huge, huge show. It was a 1 crore project, which was conducted at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium with more than 10,000 footfalls. So that we owe it all to our Ven members. And why is it? Because I feel women check into all the minute details, and then they come up with the most beautiful concept. So that's it.
Can I just add something?
Yeah.
I think we should celebrate women's success more.
Yes.
I think it's time now to wrap up the session. Revathi, can you hold the reins?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, panelists. And I wanted to thank, my personal thanks to TiEcon Kerala for this opportunity. And back to you, Diwia. Thank you.